Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets that you can download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll also find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to make a start on the Grade 4 2018 practice papers. So we're going to start with paper A. So if you turn with me to page 4, and this was the first paper that was sat in the exam period at the beginning of 2018. Now, I always suggest that you have a go of these on your own first of all. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. That's the whole point of working through these past papers. They're a really valuable revision resource. Always work in pencil, and then you can just rub out any mistakes and have another go, and you'll learn much more thoroughly that way instead of just passively copying through with me. So I'm hoping you've had a go of that. And now we're going to work through the questions together. So we'll start with this question 1, all of which refers back to this little extract of music here. So all of the questions are going to be referring back to this little piece of music. So the first questions are to do with the performance directions, and we need to choose out of these multiple choice to define these words here. So it's just a bit of revision. Bear in mind this is all of grade 1, all of grade 2, all of grade 3 and all of grade 4 performance directions. In the PDFs I give you some tips and hints on how to best revise for these tests, and I also give you a little bit of a spot test there to help you just for your revision purposes. So now we'll just go through these. So maestoso is majestic, and cantando is singing. Now a revision tip here, because cant is the root word for the singing, and so if you remember from grade 1, cantabile is also in a singing manner, so you can see where that comes from. Be careful you don't get confused with calando, which means dying away, so just a bit of revision required there. Let's look at the next bit. Now, is it true or false that there are 3 pairs of notes in, 3 pairs of tied notes in this melody? So we need to be careful. We're looking for tied notes, not slurs. So for example, here that's a slur because it's showing 2 different note pitches that are smoothly played, smoothly joined together, whereas a tie is note head to next door note head of exactly the same pitch, adding the time values together. So we've got 1 pair of tied notes here. That's a slur. That's a slur, but this here is a tie, so there's another pair. And then here, that's a slur. That's a slur, but this here, G to G, we're in bass clef, is a tie as well. So 1, 2, 3. Yes, in fact, there are 3 pairs of tied notes in this melody, so that's true. Let's go on to the next question. We're asked to write as a breve or a double whole note an enharmonic equivalent of the note in bar 13. Now, before we look at that, I do suggest that you just quickly sketch out for yourself a piano keyboard. Even if you don't play piano, it's a really helpful way to visualize the distance between the notes and to also recognize different pitches by different note names, and so it would come in handy. It doesn't take 2 seconds to just sketch one out on a bit of scrap paper. So the note of bar 13 is here. Now that's a C in the bass clef, but of course it's a C sharp, not middle C, but the octave below. That's a C sharp, and so we can see that C sharp is the same as D flat, or we could also call it B double sharp. Either one of those will do. So B double sharp or D flat, but be careful you make the correct octave. It's not by middle C, so here is the D flat, needs to be as a breve or a double whole note, so that would be that. That's one option. Alternatively, you could do the B below that double sharp, so that would be your answer there. Either one of those will do. Now then, let's look at the next question. Just tidy that up. There we go. So give the technical name of the note in bar 10. The key is F sharp minor. So before we even do that, what I'm going to do is just write out the steps of the scale. I know it's F sharp minor, but your key signature and so on will deal with all of that. Just get the basic notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's, I'm getting a bit out of step here. Let's do that again. F. Oh, what am I doing here? Switch my brain on. Let's do that again. F, G, A, B, C. Can't multitask, talk and write at the same time. So there's our double check. So let's have a look at the note in bar 10. So here in the bass clef, that is an E sharp. So let's have a look. Here we could either count up from an F, or we can also see, because it's so low down it's hard to count with millions of ledger lines counting upwards. So we can see the E is the 7th, and it's E sharp because that's the raised 7th in the minor scale. So that's the 7th, and we know that the 7th degree of the scale is the leading note. There we go. Now then, a bit of maths. How many demi-semiquavers is the rest, not the note, the rest in bar 2 worth? So here's the rest. It's a dotted quaver, dotted 8th note rest. So first of all, I'm just going to diagram out. I'll just use this spade here. So I know I'm writing a note here, but we're doing that rest. Either will do. So we know that a quaver divides into 2 semiquavers, which divides into 4 demi-semiquavers or 32nd notes. So that would be the quaver rest. And then we got a dot. If you just glance back, a dot makes it half as long again. So we've got 4, and then half as long again for the dot. Half of 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 equals 6, and so we know that the rest is worth 6 demi-semiquavers or 6 32nd notes. There we go. So now then, last part of this question. We need to rewrite the first note of bar 2. It's marked with a little arrow, so it sounds at the same pitch. So we need to be careful we don't end up jumping octaves, but we need to use the alto clef. So we need to change the clef from bass clef to alto clef, keeping the pitch exactly the same. So the alto clef is positioned so that the middle line is now middle C. We have a key signature of F, C, G sharp. So C, D, E, F sharp is the top space, C sharp is the middle line, and then G sharp is the top line. There's our key signature. So let's see what we've got. So first note in bar 2, marked with a little arrow. So using middle C as our reference point, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the F below middle C. And so now let's transfer that to the alto clef. Here is middle C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C, B, A, G, F. That's the F below middle C. Oh, except it shouldn't be coloured in. It's a minim. There we go. And so that's that completed. So that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you to get to grips with your studies. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. And please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.